Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to another episode of MSc Diaries. It is... Where are we? Where are we? It is... in how I'm doing it. This is term 4. Individual project. I just had a meeting with my supervisor and I don't know how to feel. I feel really, really excited about my research topic. Like he was just like, yeah, that's a really good idea. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you so much. I know I'm a genius. Love that for me. What I don't love is during our meeting, we were kind of like workshopping ideas of kind of like what to do, next steps, things to consider for my project, because ultimately I have to code something. I have to produce a product. And I told him what I wanted my product to be, the gap that I've identified in the market. I think my product would do well. And then we spoke about kind of the issues around not trusting tech, which is interesting because I'm studying data science. Actually, it's not interesting. I'm studying data science, which I think contributes to me trusting tech less. I mean, I was already suspicious of tech. I've always been suspicious of like stuff. And then on top of that, I worked in compliance. I'm currently assurance. I feel like assurance is compliance's chattier younger sister. But I currently work in assurance. So for me, it's always been like, really, guys? So to create a product, for me, is very much like, I don't trust it. Which is like, what do you mean you don't trust it? You have to trust it because you got to build it. Yeah, so I'm really excited. But I was telling my supervisor that actually now I'm really anxious. And I'm anxious because now I have to build the thing. I have to do the thing. And yeah, I just, girl, I don't know, girl. I don't know. The thing is, someone on Twitter was like, people back in the day writing essays without ChatGPT. And I must have tweeted, I wrote my undergrad dissertation in 24 hours with nothing but delusion. Nothing but delusion. What did I say? I actually did write my undergraduate dissertation in 24 hours. Oh, with nothing but delusion, undiagnosed ADD, and one Swedish House Mafia track. Yeah, and every 1,000 words, I would play that track once, and I would get up and dance to like shake the stagnation out of my body, and then I'd sit back down and I'd write. And I want you to know that I wrote it, in under 24 hours, and I submitted it, I think, 30 minutes or like an hour before the final submission deadline. And at the time, showing my age, we had to submit. No, because I transferred campuses. When I started my undergraduate degree, we had to submit our coursework in person. So we would have to print it out and we'd have to put it in like a folder. And you had to put like a cover sheet. Which when now I think about it, I'm like, actually that's theft because we actually never saw that again. So we had to like print it out, print a cover sheet, put it in like this little dossier thing, submit it, like in person submit at the submission office, get a receipt, and then like your coursework was submitted. And I remember like being in the library. So I did my undergrad. I'm doing my master's at the same university. I did my undergrad at Greenwich in Medway. And I remember being in the drill hall library. Yeah, because Medway is a drill hall. Being in the drill hall library, yeah, which is basically like, I think it used to be army barracks. So there's like these stairs that you have to go up. So like you're in this building, that building's like, say the building's here, yeah? You'd be at the back where it was quiet. Be all the way at the back, run through the library, out of the library, across the car park, up these stairs, down the driveway. I call it a driveway. It was like a massive loop. Down the driveway. I can't remember what building it was. I think it was like the third or the fourth building down. And then you had to run. You had to run because the submission deadline was 12 o'clock. Anyhow, you got to that line and it was like 10 to 12 and there was a queue. You're finished. You're finished. Finished. You're done. So yeah, for when I got to like my final year submission, I was on it. Oh, that hurt. I was at a different campus and I didn't have to submit in person anymore. So I was at home. Yeah, I worked through the night. There's like a picture, I think on one of my hard drives, of like me after I'd submitted, like laying on my desk, like, save me. Yeah. What was I saying? I'm excited. I can say that I'm excited. I'm very excited because like I'm almost finished. This year has been ghetto. This year has been the worst year of my life so far. And I hope I do not get a worse year than this. I'm going to be honest with you. 2017 was a difficult year. Yeah, very difficult year. Because like my granddad died. It was a whole thing. My granddad died, mental health in the bin. And then like 2018 was crap. 2019, yuck. And then I'm like, okay, I was taking my time, working on myself. 2023, raggedy. 2023 was raggedy. But you see, September 2024 till now, fighting. Like literally, when like my friends will be like, "How are you?" And I'll be like, fighting for my life. Like literally, that would be the only thing I could say. Like I was literally fighting for my life. Like between like my body wanting to shut down, my lungs shutting down, my knee, reduced mobility. Everything was just like I was literally fighting for my life. Yeah, fighting for my life. And then I was dealing with people at university that I wanted to high five in the face with a chair. That exhale felt really good in my body, I have to say. So, where are we? I am almost finished with my master's. I have 6,000 words to write. I have something to create code-wise. And I have a month. What's the date today? Today's the 25th. 5, 6, 31, 37. I have 40. I have 40 days. I don't even have 40 days. Actually, I have exactly 40 days. It is 3:29 p.m. In 40 days, at 3:29 p.m., deadline, submission, done. Master's complete. Finito, done. Out of here. Yeah? I have exactly 40 days. And I'm so delusional. It's not even I'm delusional. I know in my heart that I can do this because I am unhinged. I am entirely unhinged. I don't even think you guys have ever seen me like this excited. But I know that I'm unhinged. And because I'm unhinged, I know that I can achieve anything. Because who can stop me? Like I said, undergraduate dissertation, 24 hours. The week before, all the information I needed was in Korean. I had to translate it into English without using Google Translate because Google Translate wasn't even popping like that, showing how old I am. The level of unhinged that I am, I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. I mean, I have no choice. I have to do it. But like, I'm going to do it, and I'm so unhinged that I'm going to do it, and I'm going to get a distinction. I'm going to get a distinction on this. There's no way that I don't get a distinction on my individual dissertation. It's impossible. Ain't no way. I'm getting a distinction, which means that I'm going to graduate with a distinction. There's no way that I do not get a distinction on this individual dissertation. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm getting a distinction. Me. I'm getting a distinction. I'm graduating with a distinction. Yeah. The group project hasn't been marked yet. My supervisor was just like, listen, they've given us so much work. I'm still marking. Like, I don't even think it's gone to second markers yet. It hasn't gone to second markers yet. And yeah, it's a lot going on. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. I'm telling you I'm doing it because I'm going to do it because I'm me. Yeah, nobody gasses me like me. I gas myself. Yeah, to clarify, gassing up, South London slang is like encouraging, talking up yourself, bigging up yourself. I'm bigging myself up. I'm gassing myself up. I'm getting excited because I'm doing this. I'm actually doing this, which is insane to me. What's even more insane is that I want to do a PhD. And the thing about it is, I realize, I think the reason why I'm like, I want to do a PhD because the research area that I want to specialize in, there isn't a lot of research. Obviously, I'm a black woman. My research would be around black women because that's my interest as a black woman. So I'm like, yeah, that's what I would like to do. And I'm like, I want to do a PhD. But then thinking about it, doing a PhD would entail a lot of lab work for me. Like, my research would be lab heavy. Now, like, it wouldn't entail a lot of data. It would entail a lot of data, actually. Yikes, there's no escaping it. She says, like, she didn't do a whole master's degree in data science. This is what it means to be a data scientist. What kind of life is this? Also, I think because I am an unwed woman who has no interest in having children, I feel like I want to go to the top of the top, that is education. I want to be that person, because thinking about the fact that my grandma died really young. I think my grandma died. Grandma was 17. No, mum was 17 when grandma died. I think grandma passed away at 38, which to me is very young. And to think, I don't know much about grandma's mother or grandma's grandma. And when I was in Jamaica, I spoke to my grand aunt, so my mum's aunt, who is my oldest living relative. And because she's older, she said that she doesn't remember a lot. So she's telling me that she doesn't really remember much about kind of her grandmother and so on and so forth. And I think, to think about it, nobody in my family has a PhD. I think from my immediate family, like, not my immediate family, like my grandparents on my mum's side, no, I don't think anyone has a master's. From like my grandma and my granddad. I was the first person to go to university. Yeah, I was the first person to go to university to get my undergraduate degree. I think I'm the only person that has a master's. And to get a PhD, like I'd be the first person in my family, and possibly the only person in my family that, yeah, I'd be the only person in my family with a PhD, which is really terrifying to think, not terrifying to think about, but like when you look at it like that, it's like, wow, like I'm like, how I look at life anyway is like I'm standing on the shoulders of my ancestors, and that's how I approach life. I'm always like, it always has to go back to ancestors. Like, I'm standing on the shoulders of my ancestors. Without my ancestors, I would not be here. And to like think everything that they went through led to me being here is that is something to think about. And to think that me, a black woman in 2025, coming from where I come from, coming from where my family comes from, to be here, yeah, that's a big one. That is a big one. So I will be updating, I will be recording. Next week is going to be interesting because I'm traveling next week. I will be updating, I will be recording. As always, I'm going to be recording this process, as in like telling you what I've done, where I'm at, and then submitting in September, which is around the corner. Like, that is really insane to say. That's really, really insane to say. So when I say I'm my grandparents' wildest dreams, like I mean that in a way. I mean that in a way that has a lot of nuance. It has a lot of meaning. I don't just say it to say it. It means a lot. And I feel really emotional as it's like dawning on me, like, bruh, no. Yeah, that's you, baby girl. That is you. Yeah. That feels heavy. Feels heavy to carry. And not like, it feels heavy in a bad way. It feels heavy to carry, as in I was just doing it. I was just going through the motions. I was just doing it. Like, thinking about things that I spoke to, that I used to speak to my therapist about, where like you have this goal that you want to achieve, but every day you do something, or you like every day you're doing a little something to work towards that goal. And to now take a step back and be like, bruh, this time last year, I was like, oh yeah, I got in to do a master's, like my application got accepted, I got a scholarship, blah, blah, blah. And to now be here a year later, like, I was in the trenches. I feel like I've gone to hell and back. But to be here and to be able to take a step back and be like, I've achieved so much in this past year in a subject that I was always told, you're not good at maths, you're not good at this, you've had to fail previously, you've had to drop out previously because you're not good at this, and maybe, you know, this is not for you. To actually come back, do my big one, bang out distinctions left and right. I think I've only got I've got one pass, one merit, and the rest of my grades are all distinctions. Like, I did that. That is insane to think about. And it's insane to think about, like, rah, I really did that. Or rather, I'm doing that. Like, teenage me, yeah? Teenage me wanted to be a psychiatrist. I wanted to be a psychiatrist when I was a teenager. I wanted to be a psychiatrist because I love watching Frasier. And Frasier and Niles are psychologists. Yeah. And I decided I wanted to be a psychiatrist. And I didn't get I did okay in science. I didn't get a good enough grade in maths. So I went to college and I was resitting my maths GCSE. And for my A levels, I wanted to do biology, sociology, and business studies, because my plan was I want to be a psychiatrist and I want to have my own private practice. That was my goal. Like 14-year-old me was like 13, 14-year-old me was adamant, like, this is my goal, this is what I want to become, this is what I want to do. To then get derailed because my biology teacher was a hater. Yeah. I got kicked out of A-level biology because I was resitting maths, because my grade was a D at GCSE maths. And I was resitting GCSE maths. And she was just like, I can't have you in my class because other students are A-star students. And having you in my class would lower their standard and it's not fair to them. And I was like, in my head, I wasn't able to advocate for myself. But me as an adult can say, well, the space was here. I'm doing the work. Like, why are you counting me out? Because I'm resitting maths. The thing about it is, I actually like maths. I like maths. My version of maths. But obviously, undiagnosed dyscalculia. To get kicked out of A-level biology, but before getting kicked out of A-level biology, having to do a test to see where we stand on our understanding of biology and getting the highest grade in that class with those students that got their A stars in maths. Like, I got an 85 out of 100 on that test. And there were people in there with the A stars in maths who had gotten 60s, 50s, 40s. Yeah. I still got kicked out of that classroom. And one of the reasons why I got kicked out of that classroom was because the teacher said that I was a distraction to other people in the class, because I think she saw me as, you're a black girl, you talk too much. And I remember somebody asking me a question, because I used to sit at the front of the class. Yeah. Somebody asked me a question and I remember turning around and I answered her question, and my teacher shouted at me and told me to get out of her classroom for talking. And I remember saying to her, somebody asked me a question and I answered it. I wasn't talking loudly, I whispered it. And she was like, get out, because you're a distraction. And like, thinking how like that one white woman, because they're always white, how that one white woman derailed all the plans that I had for my future because she saw me as chatty. And the thing about it is, I was not chatty. I didn't talk to anybody in that classroom. I was asked questions and I answered questions. I was not chatty. I didn't disrupt anybody's learning. And the questions that I was being asked was about the work that she was teaching. And to now be here, I was 16 at the time. So to now be here 20 years later, yeah, aged myself. To be here 20 years later, wanting to be some sort of scientist. I knew that I wanted to be some sort of scientist. To be at this stage of my master's where I can say I'm a scientist. To be here now, yeah, I did my big one. So thanks for watching. I will see you next week.